This sucks, man. This is so fucking bullshit.
Dero, I got something on my mind, homie. Hey, Dero, what's happening? What's up?
Oh, fuck South Carolina. Y'all motherfuckers won. We couldn't stop Lattimore.
Lattimore, hats off to him, man. He's a beast. 37 carries, 182 yards. You know, enough said. A lot of times, but we couldn't wrap him up. Leg driving, and he just broke tackles. I mean, his yak was incredible. He's the yak master. It was frustrating, but you know, props to him. You know, he did a great job. You can't argue that. You know.
Were better, and they have the only experienced quarterback in the East Division. I think they picked him to win it before the season began.
I think they're playing with that confidence now that they didn't have before, and I think when you look at the SEC East right now, forget about Vanderbilt. Tennessee got rocked by Oregon this afternoon, and if you look at the way that they beat Georgia in this football game, now Florida is the team that they have to beat, and if Florida continues to have the offensive problems that they've had, I think that South Carolina is set up to win the SEC East.
What's going on, Gamecock fans? Quite a win Saturday. It was hot. Wasn't exactly humid, but hot. It was 96 degrees up in that stadium, at least something around that. I mean, it was hot. It's not the hottest games I've been to, but it was pretty hot. People were passing out left and right. It was a hot day. Great game day atmosphere though. I actually enjoyed it. Met some new people down there. Tal, had a great time with Tal and his person he brought along. We had a great time. I hope you, Tal, I hope you experienced Columbia the right way. I wanted to, you know, I hope you stayed longer so, you know, you would have been around to look around on campus and stuff like that. You saw how nice that baseball stadium was, and you know we're national champions for one reason why. Look at that stadium, man. Something else, isn't it? But anyways, you know, and we had, you know, free parking, Tal, you know you like that. You know, but it was all around. It was a great time, you know. For one thing I noticed, though, about that, Gamecock fans, don't get pissed off at me. This is what I'm going to do. Right? So I'm going to grade our performance per what we did, okay? Wide receivers, I give them an A+. That, you know, basically because Alshon's 103 yards receiving. I didn't even know that. I think it's his second one in a row with actually 103 itself. Maybe because I know Southern Miss he had over 100 yards, and it might have been 103 in that mark. So I give them an A+. Mood offensive line, I give them a B-. That reason why, because they helped. Well, maybe, you know what? No, I'll give them a B+, A- kind of thing. Because with that offensive line, Marcus Lattimore was able to run. He was able to run 182 yards, 2 touchdowns on him. He was unstoppable. He could have had, and like he was interviewed today, said he could have had more yards if he wanted to. Makes you think of something, doesn't it? So I give them a B+, A-. All right, so then you're gonna go looking now at quarterback. I mean, he made throws, he did, but his decisions and he fumbled the ball. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna give him I'll give him a B-, C+ kind of thing, because he was still able to hit Alshon and Torrey for those passes. You know, Justice and also Patrick DeMarco for those few for those first downs, those pivotal first downs. He missed Jason Barnes a couple times. Brian Maddox, that pass to Brian Maddox in the end zone was Brian Maddox's fault. He dropped it. We moved to running backs. I give him an A+. Marcus Lattimore was just amazing. I would have loved to see a little bit of Ace Sanders, maybe slot receiver, something like maybe reverse with the running back, play the reverse play. I was hoping to see him, but we didn't, which is fine by me. We still, if the play works, you're going to keep running it. And that's what we did against Georgia. And I was glad to see it, you know, and I was a little hesitant a little bit, you know, and we just got Jarrell King back that night before at 10:30. They said he was eligible, and he played some. Chris Culliver, he had a couple good returns. A few, if he broke one more tackle, he would have been gone. Would have been end zone. Our special teams, I'd give them A because that one missed field goal by Spencer Lane, he just missed it. Just missed it. So, with everything like that, our defense, I give them a B+, but the red zone defense is what really stepped it up, and you only held Georgia to 2 field goals. It could have been a possible touchdown if, you know, Ely didn't fumble the ball basically near the end zone where Stephon Gilmore picked it up. No interceptions by any team, which is good per quarterback. You know, Steven Garcia still hadn't thrown a pick yet this year. Knock on some wood down here on that. But I mean, I was pretty solid with my Gamecocks performance. I was excited to see what they could do. They didn't really disappoint me too much. I mean, they held on to it. At first, though, when I saw Aaron Murray just pass all over us, I'm like, this is going to be a long game. Sure enough, we were able to hold him for 2 field goals. First time since Georgia, I think it was like since 1905 or something like that, South Carolina held Georgia without having a touchdown in that game, I think. I think it was 1905. So, our basic performance makes, you know, and look at this. You got to look at Marcus Lattimore. He had an amazing game. People are putting them in his, you know, people put him in their Heisman list right now because of that game. I don't really agree with the Heisman list, but people are looking at him as a Bo Jackson kind of guy, Herschel Walker, Emmitt Smith, and you know what Marcus looks at? He looks at himself like Joseph Adai, who can block. And that's what a key thing, who can block, who can keep making, and he just keep running and just keep going and keep it going. Keep the legs moving and don't go backwards. There's some of those plays in that game where he was, you know, it looked trouble for him, where he stopped and he still kept going, and he gained like maybe 6-7 more yards. That's what I was looking for out of South Carolina's running backs. I'm still not quite on the hype with Marcus Lattimore. I'm about there, though. Jarvis Giles was supposed to be, he was really hyped up last year. I wouldn't call him a bust, but, you know, he was really hyped up last year. He didn't do too much that people expect he was going to do. Florida Atlantic was his best game he's ever played in Columbia. So with all that being said, Gamecocks had a great performance. Like I said, Georgia Bulldogs, I can tell you one thing I did notice, since I didn't send the student section, a bunch of Georgia fans were behind me, and they were just screaming Les Miles. They were so ticked off. They were throwing stuff after the whatchamacallit, you know, Mark, he called those 3 timeouts in the third quarter. So, guys, I'm tired, so you're going to have to excuse me for all these mistakes I'm making. So, you look at that, and people just call them Les Miles, all this kind of stuff, and there's some funny things about these Georgia fans. Some of them will call us cheaters. If we had like a holding call or something like that, they yelled cheaters. I thought that was funny. Then there's sorority there. There's from Georgia. They had free AJ shirts, said free, and then AJ on the bottom. They had those kind of shirts on. That had me laughing. I had my Sandstorm shirt on, of course. That's my game day shirt for y'all that didn't know. That shirt is currently with a 2-0 record. It's a good luck shirt. And it's the thing about it. I'm a very superstitious kind of guy. I had my hat on, not this hat, my black hat I used to have. I lost it. Not good. I flipped it upside down when the Gamecocks beat Oklahoma in the after they beat Arizona State, when they beat Oklahoma with that last play of the game. I flipped my cap for that, and ever since then I had it on like that the whole summer until South Carolina won, and when I finally flipped it back over and wore it out. And I wore it out to public like that. People didn't ask questions. They knew what we were doing, so it didn't bother me a bit. But with that being said, we look at the Furman, and also the number 13 ranking. I don't really agree with it. I don't think we really deserve it. I mean, we are playing good football, don't get me wrong, but it brings a bad taste in my mouth from 07, and this isn't the same team. Don't get me wrong, this is not the same team running this offense and the defense. It's a different team, but it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, 07. So, and jumping 9, 11 spots for that, I don't know about all that. There's teams that deserve that kind of ranking up there, but it's always a great day when you pass the Southern Cal wannabe USC football team, in rankings when they win a game too. It's actually pretty funny. But I'll take the number 13 ranking for now. Just got to go past Furman, and that game on the road against Auburn looms. It's going to be interesting to see what Clemson can do against Auburn, or Auburn can do against Clemson this weekend. I think College Game Day is going up there. Those are two teams I'd never see College Game Day going to this season. I'm sure there are other games that are this weekend that would be better for College Game Day. But then again, I may be wrong. But that's it for me. I think I think we got a chance this year. I really do. But there's no telling what Georgia is. We're gonna see what they can do against Arkansas, and we'll see what's going on from there. Zequan, that's it for me. Over and out, and you know it. It's a party in the UGA. Peace.
Alright, Zequan, I hope you like that fucking shit. That was some gay-ass fucking shit you had me do.